Yes, Srinam, welcome all of you all for our Wednesday evening Ramayana class. So we have always been reading the Valmiki Ramayan, shloka by shloka, in the book and getting the translation and explanation. So welcome all of you all once again. So we have completed the 10th chapter, the 10th sarga, up till verse number 26. But we just have a recap of what we had discussed because quite a long time, almost 2 weeks. So we'll just start with the recap. So Mataji, please start reading from verse number 23. So Balkand, Sarga 10, verse number 23. Please read the translations.
Okay, Prabhuji. After all the ladies left Rishyashringa's hermitage, that son of Vibhandaka became restless at heart. He had now become very sad. Repeatedly thinking in his mind about those ladies, the son of Vibhandaka, who was rich in Vedic knowledge, came the very next day to the place of the court dancers. There he saw the leader of those delightful ladies who were well decorated. On seeing the sage coming, all those delighted ladies surrounded him. They said, "O gentle one, welcome to our heritage." The
Continue.
ladies, the ladies continued, "There are various varieties of roots and fruits at our place. Surely you will be welcomed over there in a very special way."
Continue.
Yeah. Hearing the heart pleasing words of all those ladies, the sage made up his mind to go with them. The ladies then took him away to the kingdom of Anga. When that great souled Brahmana was brought to the kingdom of Anga, the rain god poured rain immediately. Thus, those rains delighted the world.
So there are two things we understand from this entire story. Just let's have a brief understanding on the recap of the story of Rishyashringi. As I had mentioned, Rishyashringi was a son of sage Vibhandaka, and he had never seen a woman right from his birth. The माँ को भी नहीं देखा है. I told you he saw his father saw Urvashi and he released his sperms, which was drunk by a deer because it fell in the water, river water, and which was eaten drunk by a deer, and the deer gave birth to a male boy, but this male boy had horns. That's why it's called as he got the name as Rishyashringi. And then his father took care of him and he made sure that he is away from all material happinesses, all happinesses which come in contact with, but which get ignited with the touch of material senses. So, though he was kept at that place, there in Rompada, in Angadesh, where King Rompada was staying, he was very much agitated because there was a big famine and there was no water in the whole kingdom. So they were all wondering when the water will come and how they will be released. So when they asked all the learned people, ज्योतिष थे जो बड़े ज्ञानी थे, उन सबको पूछा कि कैसे पानी आएगा, कैसे पानी आएगा. तो वो लोगों ने क्या बोला कि भाई जिस दिन you get Rishyashringi over here, rain will come. So now the big question was how to get Rishyashringi here, because Rishyashringi is one who is isolated from the world, solely into only to devotion and living in his hermitage. He has never gone out. He has never seen anyone other than his father. So the best idea was they thought is they prepared their court dancers. बोला आप थोड़ा पैसा ले लीजिए, and these Ganikas, these court dancers, they went and lured him. They went and embraced him. They gave him something nice to eat. They mentioned Modak. Modak was given, and he was thinking they are also sages. He was wondering how these sages are. They are looking different. He never knew that they were women, they are ladies. He never knew the difference. And more than above, he felt even the modaka was a fruit. He felt this modaka is a fruit. So he said, how do I eat this fruit? I've never seen this such a fruit. He said, don't worry. These girls lured him and they embraced him. So he was agitated. Senses get agitated in that process. And then his mind started thinking on this process itself. How will I go and meet them? So they were so nice. They were so pleasing and chanting. Let me go and meet them. And then he went to meet them also in their hermitage. Their hermitage was nothing but a makeshift temporary hermitage. Some acharyas give a nice commentary that Rishyashringi, to get Rishyashringi over here, these This king had made a big, huge island-like boat, which had all huts, small trees, everything. So it looked nice as if it's a piece of land. But actually, it was a big boat. Because how will they get them? How will they get him? Because they can't walk. These ladies cannot walk all the distance, right? And Rishyashringi was saying, as per the Shastra, was staying in Shingeri near Udupi. So they came over there through the river and they lured him. And finally, hearing the heart pleasing words of those ladies, this is how senses work. The sage made up his mind to go with them. जिंदगी भर उसको दूर रखा गया, जिंदगी भर उसको दुनिया से दूर रखा गया, फिर भी in the end, one split second. So that is why it is said, senses how are very, very strong, and however determined you may be, senses will just sway you like a boat within a split second. That is why one should be keeping the senses under control, and they can be kept only when one is focused in a spiritual lifestyle. When one is not in that material lifestyle, you cannot control your senses. The reason is, आपके बाजू वाला भी sense gratification की बात कर. No, you just see in your material world, all your friends. Hey, what are you doing this Saturday evening? Let's go for a match. Let's go for a party. Let's go for a what do you say? A get together. Let's go for a movie. A number of things. जो घूमने जाते हैं. This and that. No one will talk about God. And if you talk, they will say, क्या आदमी है यार, ये अभी थोड़ी बात करने का रहता है. ये हमेशा भगवान का वो टॉपिक लेके बैठ जाता है. तेरे को करना है, तू अकेला घर पे बैठ के कर. You go, don't come and tell me. So that is the problem. These stories, what do these stories actually highlight to us? कि भाई, senses are very, very tricky. कब आपको ट्रिक करके चला जाएगा, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. You will be tricked in a flip of a second. You will be tripped. Second, the next verse says, when the great souled Brahmana was brought to the kingdom of Anga, the rain god poured rain immediately. Thus, those rains delighted the world. So, how did this Anga देश में पहुंचते ही बारिश कैसे आया? Rain comes only when there is righteousness. ये व्यक्ति जो था, वो इतना साधु था, इतना अपने आप को अपने इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल करके रखा था, and he was solely, his mind was focused on God only, Brahma पे. So such a person, so whenever there is scarcity, famine, or some disasters, natural disasters, this is all related to wrong activities done in that place. When wrong activities are done, these type of natural calamities hit. Whereas when pious people with good activities, sukritis, when they are there, there is normal rain, there is normal heat, there is normal cold, everything is normal. Lord sees that those people are not troubled. And उस एक आदमी के लिए, because Rishyashringi came, he should not suffer due to famine. Indradev poured water. And in the benefit, what happened? Everyone got. So, this is the bottom line is, just because Rishyashringi came, rain did not come. Because he was spiritually elevated, enlightened, he was enlightened person has come. That is why. इसके लिए हम सबको भी भक्ति में थोड़ा आगे रहना चाहिए. अगर भक्ति नहीं करोगे, पुण्य काम नहीं करोगे, तो इस दुनिया में बारिश, धरती पे बारिश भी नहीं होगा, और हुआ तो फ्लड होगा. There will be either extremes, either there will be no water or extreme floods and everything. It will be total chaos. Everyone will suffer, and this should not happen. So finally, this is how Prabhupada is going to be got back, or rather, this is the story which Sumant is telling Darshan Maharaj, how they got Rishyashringi, who was never seen a woman, usko desh mein leke aaya, because leke aana, it was not an easy joke. They had to lure him and get him over. So anyone, if he says, no, no, my senses are very strong, no one can lure me, he is the biggest fool. Senses of anyone can go astray at any time. किसी के भी इंद्रियां उसके काबू से निकल सकती है और उसको गलत कार्य करने पे मजबूर कर सकती है. Yes, continue, Madhav.
King Romapada personally proceeded to welcome Rishyashringi, who was now entering the kingdom of Anga along with the reins by his power of austerity. The king bowed down and customarily offered water with dedication. Then King Romapada asked for a boon that he should not incur the wrath of sage Vibhandaka for having brought Rishyashringi to the kingdom of Anga.
This is very
The king,
important.
yeah.
One minute.
The king, yeah.
Here, Acharya say, the day, the minute, not the day, the minute arrived, Rishyashringi arrived in Angadesh, in Rompada's kingdom. Romapada went running towards the sage, welcomed him, and immediately offered his daughter to marriage. Now, what was the reason for that? There is a big story behind that. Rompada's father, when Vibhandaka comes to know, he also becomes very angry. Oh, come, my son has been cheated and taken. He comes there very angry. And the minute Vibhandaka's sage comes, goes and falls at his feet, Rompada, and it tells, please don't curse us. Your son is now married to my daughter. The purpose was there, so that he will not incur the curse of sage Vibhandaka. And Vibhandaka, what did he tell him? Okay, now that you are married, till you beget a son, till you beget a child, you can stay with your wife. But the minute you become a father, your wife delivers a child, you have to come back to the hermitage. This was a condition, counter condition put by Vibhandaka on Rishyashringi. So one has to understand that Brahmanas can, their wrath can literally devastate a country. In fact, we have read earlier in the purports, the explanations I have mentioned, how famine came into Angadesh. कैसा आया? कैसे आया? किसको याद है? चलो बोलो. Come on, Puja Mataji, tell me. How did famine come into Angadesh? See, this is the problem. Volatility with respect to Shastra is the most deadliest thing. पहले evaporate हो जाए. फालतू चीज सब याद, काम का चीज पहले है. चलो दामिनी को याद है, अपेक्षित को याद है. आई नो, अपेक्षित हाथ ऊपर. यस, चलो कोई तो बोलेगा.
जी, उनसे ब्राह्मण का अपमान हुआ था, इसके लिए बाकी भी ब्राह्मण ऑस्टेरिटी
वेरी
करने के लिए
नाइस,
मना
वेरी
कर दिए
गुड,
थे.
वेरी गुड. उन्होंने एक बार एक ब्राह्मण को क्रोधित कर दिया, तो मतलब रुष्ट कर दिया, उनको गुस्सा दिला दिया, तो ब्राह्मण उस देश को ही छोड़ के चला. उसके साथ कुछ और ब्राह्मण भी चले. नो, व्हाई ब्राह्मण्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट? It doesn't mean Shudras are not important, doesn't mean Vaishyas are not important, or Kshatriyas are not important. All are important. All are important in their own ways. You cannot say, I need only hands, I don't need legs. You cannot say, I need only legs, I don't need hands. You say, I need hands and legs, I don't need head. You can't say that. You need all parts of the body are required. There's always, I say, in a company, there is from a watchman to the boss. In between, thousands of people are there, varieties, clerks, accountants, managers, team leads, this and that. Who is not required? No company keeps anyone without requirement. They would first sack them out. They are keeping everyone because everyone has a role to play, including the watchman. He has to put the lock and open the lock. So even he has got a role to play. The maid servant comes and cleans the office. Even she has got a role to play. Everyone has a role to play. Similarly, Brahmanas means their job is to do yajna. And when they are doing yajna, their offering goes to the devatas. And then the devatas put rain. This is mentioned in the Bhagavad. It's a cycle. And when this cycle is going on, the Brahmanas are disturbed, the cycle gets disturbed. So then you have to get a bigger Brahmana. And the biggest Brahmana they could get was Rishyashringi. उनको लेके आ गए, काम हो गया. So the basic idea of getting the king's daughter married to Rishyashringi was that they would not incur any anger, curse, or wrath of sage Vibhandaka or of the king, or of Rishyashringi. नहीं तो ऋषिशृंगी बोलेगा तुमने मुझे बेवकूफ बना के लेके आए यहाँ पे. He realizes that what will happen, he will curse more, there will be more famine then. So he begs his pardon. Yes, continue.
The king entered the palace with a peaceful mind. He then gave his daughter Shanta in marriage to Rishyashringi as per scriptural rules. King Romapada was then very delighted.
Yes, बड़ा काम हो गया ना. दोनों लड़की का भी शादी हो गया, अच्छे आदमी को शादी में दे दिया. And more than that, now the famine is cleared in this kingdom. Yeah.
Thus the legend Rishyashringi resided in the palace with his wife Shanta. He lived there with great honor and with all his desires fulfilled.
He was living a royal life in the kingdom. So now we will go to chapter Sarga 11. That is where Rishyashringi, how he arrives to Ayodhya, will be mentioned in this chapter. Please go ahead.
Sumantra continued, O King Dasaratha, for your benefit, listen to my words again. I will further tell you about the narrations of Sanat Kumar, the best among the great personalities. In the future, in the dynasty of Ikshvaku, a king will be born named Dasaratha. He will be very righteous, prosperous, and true to his words. King Dasaratha will develop a bond of friendship with the king of Anga. In the future, the king of Anga will have the most fortunate daughter named Shanta. Dasaratha, the king of great fame, will approach the son of the king of Anga, who will be famous as King Romapada. That king Dasaratha.
So here we are discussing about Shanta. Shanta, I have already told you, was actually the daughter of Dasaratha. Dasaratha Maharaj and King Romapada were good friends, very good friends. Buddies, you can call them. आजकल के भाषा में वो ये था ना buddies. But he was not having any child. And there was a prediction given by the astrologers when Shanta was born through Kaushalya that this girl might bring bad luck to the king. So taking two things into consideration, that there may be bad luck because of this young girl Shanta, and as it is, Romapada was not having a child, so he was crying. He said, let me give this girl to him. So basically, Shanta was none other than the daughter of Dasaratha, given to King Romapada, and to take care as his own daughter. Yes, continue.
That King Dasaratha will say, O righteous one, King Romapada, I am childless. If you order your daughter Shanta's husband, Rishyashringi, then he will perform a sacrifice for the sake of having a son to propagate my dynasty.
See, mind you, this is four rishis. That is Sanak, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar. So Sanat Kumar is saying, why this is going to happen much thousands of years before that this situation will arise. King Dasaratha will not have a son or not have a child. So he will approach Romapada and request him to ask his son-in-law, that is Rishyashringi, to perform a yajna for him by which he can have a son. Again, you understand here that the power of a Brahmana. Brahmana means what? Brahmanical life begins with austerity. Anyone can become a Brahmana, you know that? Anyone can become. Just if you follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures, if you follow the rules given and adhere to them, perform austerities, you are as good as a Brahman. So that is what now Sumant is trying to hint at Dashrath Maharaj. This has already been pre-told and destined that Dashrath Maharaj is going to ask him, indirectly telling him, now you are performing Ashwamedha Yagya, but now go to Rompada, invite his son-in-law, that is who is actually your son-in-law, Rompada, Rishyashringi, to come to your country and perform Putra Kamishti Yagya, by which you will have 4 sons. So the birth of Lord Rama and his associates was predicted much before. The episode of all the things which happened, that's why, there's a very beautiful shloka, the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord says, Vedam samtitani vartamani cha arjunam bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschanaha. Lord says, I know the present, I know the past, I know the future. But me, nobody knows. That's the greatness of God. And why nobody knows him? Because everyone is busy. I am the doer, I am the doer, I am the doer. You can understand that only when you are not the doer and when you let the God take over your reins. But we are always in the misconception that we are the doers. Yes, Matas, please continue.
After hearing King Dashratha's words, Romapada will start thinking over it. He will then decide to give his daughter Shanta's highly devoted husband to King Dashratha. Rishyashringi will perform a sacrifice which will give sons to King Dashratha. After receiving that Brahmana Rishyashringi, King Dashrath will be free from all his anxieties. That great Brahmana, who is always delighted from within, will perform the fire sacrifice for King Dashratha.
One more slow.
Yeah. Desiring to perform the sacrifice, King Dashratha with folded hands will choose Rishyashringi, who is the best of the Brahmanas and a knower of Dharma. King Dasaratha, lord of the people, will perform that sacrifice with the chief of the Brahmanas. This sacrifice will be performed to fulfill King Dasaratha's desire to obtain a son and to attain heaven after death. In the future, King Dasaratha will have 4 children. His children will be highly renowned among all the living entities and will enrich the fame of his dynasty.
Okay. So यहाँ पे anyone remembers how Jatayu became a friend of Dashrath Maharaj? किसी को याद है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
बोलिए.
Jatayu was the one who saved Dashrath once he was in some war or something. He was
They became friends.
Yeah.
But how come Ramchandra ji did the final rites of Jatayu but not of Dashrath?
So because Dashrath Maharaj gave him the boon that ask whatever you want to ask. So Jatayu asked.
No. That's a wrong understanding. They became friends just because Dashrath Maharaj once saved Jatayu from falling down. No, he and Sampati were having a race. They were going towards the sun, and when they're nearing the sun, the blaze of the earth, the blaze of the sun was burning their feathers, and Jatayu fell down, was falling down, and Dashrath Maharaj held him. And in return, when Dashrath Maharaj had gone to fight with Shanidev, when he was coming into the house, going to create famine, Dashrath Maharaj said, how can Shani come and disturb my kingdom? I will not allow this. And he went there to fight Shanidev. And Shanidev is famous, he's always sitting with his head down. He never, his eyes never look up, because कहते हैं Shanidev का नजर लग गया तो लग गई शनि. So he was down and just he slightly raised his eyebrow, and Dashrath Maharaj's chariot got burnt. And Dashrath Maharaj was in the air, started falling down. And Jatayu took him in his back, and both became friends. So he saved him. And then he told him, "Bhai, tu jaake Shani ke push karo rather than fighting with Shani." And then there is a beautiful, most of 99% people don't know. Dashrath Krit Shanishchara Stotra. There is Shani Stotra written by Darshat Maharaj. So that's why it's called as Dashrath Krit Shanishchara Stotra. You can get it in YouTube also. It is there. And it is said by just reciting that Shanishchara Stotra, immediately Shani became happy and he said, "Don't worry, I will not attack your kingdom. I will not come in the kundli of your kingdom and bring in famine and all that. I will not." So this is the power of a righteous king. Now, why I am saying all this is, here it is mentioning by what do you say, Sumant, that in future Dashrath will have 4 children. His children will be highly renowned, living among all living entities, and will enrich the fame of his dynasty. कहते हैं Jatayu is a bird, right? Flying from one tree to another. So when he was flying, he sat on one tree, and below the tree, the same Sanat Kumar was telling a story to all the rishis. Don't worry, your Raja is not going to be crying like this. In future, he will cry for child. And finally, this Rompada will come and, Rishyashringi will come and do the Putra Kamishti Yagya. And then he will have 4 nice children. और ये न्यूज सुन लेते हैं जटायु. So Jatayu says, "Oh, he's going to have 4 sons. And that too, who is going to be the son? None other than the Supreme Lord." So he comes and tells. Oh, and after this friendship, Jatayu and Dashrath Maharaj, whenever Dashrath Maharaj used to go to the forest for hunting, that time Jatayu used to come and dono, like good buddies, friends, baat karte. कैसा है यार, कैसा चल रहा है, how are things going on? Because ऐसा तो अलग है ना, एक राजा है, एक गिद्ध है, one is a vulture, one is a king. But since they were friends, they used to talk. So one day, Dashrath was very sad. He was crying. Yeah, I don't have a son, I don't have a child. I don't know what is going to happen after me. Who will take care of the kingdom, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Itne mein, the king, Jatayu said, "Hey, I'll give you a news. I'll give you a breaking news. But I'm going to ask something in return." He says, "Tell me." He says, "First and foremost, I have got a news that you are not going to have child. You are going to have children. 4 children you are going to have. 4 बच्चे होंगे." अच्छा, 4 बच्चे. So what do you want in return? He was very happy. Dashrath Maharaj was very happy. 4 बच्चे होंगे, मुझे एक का वांदा है, 4, वाह वाह, वेरी गुड. Immediately he said, देखो, जो सबसे बड़ा पुत्र है ना, वो मुझे दे देना. I don't have a child, so you give me. He said, done. दिया. क्यों दिया? है ही नहीं, देने में क्या जाता है? अभी तो कुछ बच्चे है ही नहीं ना. What's the problem? हाँ, दिया. जब होंगे तब देना है ना, देखेंगे. बट आचार्य से रामचंद्र जी ने हमेशा अपना पिता का वाक्य पूरा किया है. रामचंद्र जी ने क्या किया, पहले जब कैकेयी ने बोला, दशरथ महाराज ने कुछ नहीं बोले. He also went to the forest for 14 years without arguing, without fighting, because he wanted to prove his father's words true. पिता का वाक्य पूरा करना उसका जीवन का लक्ष्य था. कोई भी पुत्र का लक्ष्य वही होना चाहिए, ये पिता के वाक्य को पूरा करना. And then our since Dashrath Maharaj has given his word to Jatayu that now my son will be your son. So what, as a son, what is the duty? When the father dies, to cremate him and to give water of oblations for him. And the same thing happened during the Ramayana, when Ravan kidnaps Sita and goes. That time Jatayu comes to protect her, and there's a big war, and finally Jatayu is killed. War. But even before dying, he tells, don't worry, Ram, अभिजित मुहूर्त में लेके गए, तुम्हारी वाइफ को तुम्हारी पत्नी मिल जाएगी, चिंता मत करो. But he tells he has been kidnapped and he dies. Now Rama remembers, oh, my father has given a word to him. My father had given a word to Jatayu that My eldest son is your son. So now as an eldest son, I have to do the entire cremation. नहीं तो कोई गिद्ध का क्रिमेशन करता है क्या? कोई गिद्ध के लिए पिंडदान करता है क्या? रामचंद्र जी did. He not only did he take care of him, he also do his final rites, but also offered oblations, water of oblations, shraddha, जो करना था, he did everything. That is the reason why this proclamation that in the future King Dasaratha will have 4 children. His children will be highly renowned among all living entities and will enrich the fame of the dynasty. ये भविष्यवाणी सनत कुमार ने सिर्फ सुमंत को नहीं दिया, देते वक्त इसने भी सुन लिया, बट उसने पूरा बोला नहीं. उसने इतना बोला कि तुमको 4 बच्चे होंगे जरूर, बहुत सारे बच्चे होंगे, बड़ा बच्चा मुझे दे देना, इतना जटायु ने बोला. बट नाउ दिस एट दिस जंक्चर सुमंत इज टेलिंग ऑल द ट्रूथ टू हिज मास्टर किंग दशरथ. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Thus, O king, this great one and the best sage among the Devatas, Sanat Kumar, had earlier spoken this in the narration in Satyuga. O King Dasharatha, tiger among men, go personally and bring Rishyashringi with full honor and respect along with your servants and vehicles.
So, 2 things. One is, ये किसका वाक्य है? सनत कुमार का वाक्य. और कब बोला? सतयुग में. एंड कौन सा युग चल रहा है? त्रेता युग. After so many lakhs of years, पहले ही सनत कुमार ने बोल दिया. And this is happening. Second, most important. Here, he is telling now King Dasaratha, O tiger among men, go personally and bring Rishyashringi with full honor. Go personally, go and get Rishyashringi with full honor and respect along with your servants and vehicles. मतलब पूरे ठाट बाट्स के साथ जाओ और ऋषिशृंगी को यहाँ लेके. Continue.
King Dasharatha became delighted after hearing the words of Sumantra. With the words heard from the charioteer Sumantra, the king convinced Vasishtha Muni. The king, along with the palace's inhabitants and his ministers, set out towards the place where the Brahmana Rishyashringi was. They slowly and steadily crossed forest and rivers as they made their way forward. Dasharatha reached the kingdom where the best of the sages Rishyashringi lived. On reaching, King Dasharatha saw the topmost Brahmana next to King Romapada.
Oh, nice. Felt na. Finally, जिसके लिए आया हूँ बाजू में बैठा है. Next to Romapada, I am going to now take him, and I will get not 1, 4 sons, as per the prediction. Yeah, please continue.
King Dasharatha saw Rishyashringi, the son of sage Vibhandaka, who was glowing like fire. Then the king offered befitting and special honor to Rishyashringi. King Dasharatha felt great delight in his heart, which was due to the friendship he shared with the King Romapada. King Romapada then told the wise Rishyashringi about the deep friendship between them. Upon being informed of the friendship between King Dasaratha and Romapada, Rishyashringi was very pleased and in return worshipped the King Dasaratha. King Dasaratha stayed for 7 to 8 days at Romapada's kingdom before speaking.
That is one etiquette which we have to learn. सीधा गया, हाँ मैं आया किसके लिए मालूम, मैं आपको लेके जाने के लिए आया हूँ, प्लीज कम. सीधा नहीं बोला. First, he was happy to see his daughter. His daughter is married to him, right? Basically, it is the King Dasaratha's daughter. So he was very happy to see his daughter married to King Rishyashringi, such a great sage. Secondly, he was more happier because he was having a nice time and getting the right mood, right time, right juncture to speak his requirements. Continue. And he did not speak directly to Rishyashringi. He first speaks directly to King Rompada because now he is his son-in-law. He's staying in his kingdom. He cannot directly say, मैं तो directly बात करूंगा. My daughter only got married to him. No, these are etiquettes one should follow. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
King Dasaratha spoke to Romapada. Your daughter Shanta and her great husband should come to my city as I am performing a great sacrifice. King Romapada then agreed. He spoke to the intelligent Brahmana Rishyashringi. You proceed along with your wife and go to Ayodhya.
This is the way in which the whole matters has to be put. Directly, he did not speak to Rompada. Sorry, Rishyashringi. He spoke to Rompada. And Rompada also said, and what he's saying, I'm already performing a sacrifice. Please come. All of you all should come. At that time, Rompada then agrees, okay, this is justified. And then he speaks to the intelligent Rishyashringi. Please proceed with your wife. Your wife is saying, it is not my daughter, saying your wife. You proceed and go to Ayodhya.
Agreeing to King Romapada's request, Rishyashringi replied, It will be done as you say. With King Romapada's permission, Rishyashringi proceeded along with his wife to Ayodhya. The two kings were very pleased. The two valiant kings wished each other with folded palms, and out of friendship, King Dasaratha and King Romapada embraced each other.
So they both are bidding bye bye to each other because he is taking, Dasaratha is taking Rishyashringi and his daughter, that is his wife, Shanta, also along with him. Yeah.
The two well-wisher friends took leave for each other. King Dasaratha dispatched few fast-moving messengers ahead to inform his citizens in Ayodhya. The message for the citizens was, decorate the city quickly. The roads must be well sprinkled with water, the city to be well scented and decorated with flags. Hearing the news of king's arrival, the citizens were all delighted. They followed the king's instruction and performed all the necessary tasks.
Basically, yes, he is sending the messengers ahead. Bhai, aap jaake jara arrange karke rakho. So because I'm getting my son-in-law and my daughter along with me, so keep the city nice and attractive in a very nice way. And immediately these people also go very fast and do it. Yes, ma'am.
King Dasaratha kept Rishyashringi, the best of the Brahmanas, in front and entered the well-decorated city. They were welcomed by the sounds of conch shells and the beating of drums. The citizens were very happy upon seeing that Brahmana Rishyashringi was being honored by King Dasaratha, who himself was as powerful as Indra. The procession was compared to the occasion when the thousand-eyed Indra had led Vamandev, the son of Kashyapa, towards heaven.
Read the explanation.
Acharyas say that in this verse, the entering of King Dasaratha into the city is being compared with Indra. It has two meanings. First is that King Dasaratha had fought in many wars on behalf of Indra, the king of the Devatas. He had defeated the demons numerous times, earning him the comparison to Indra. Secondly, his procession with Rishyashringi leading the way was compared to Indra leading Lord Vamandev to heaven after Indra has regained his kingdom from Bali Maharaj. Rishyashringi was the grandson of Kashyapa, and Vamandev was the son of Kashyapa.
I hope you all understood the crux. Very important crux is there in this. Acharya say that the word King Dasharatha is entering the city as compared to Indra. Like Indra was coming with Vamandev. Now, who was Vamandev and how can King Dasharatha be compared to Indra? Are he was fighting from the side of the Devatas for so many years. इतने सालों तक उन्होंने युद्ध लड़ा असुरों के साथ. किसके लिए? देवताओं के लिए. That is why he is compared to him. Secondly, who is Kashyapa's son? Vamandev. And who is Kashyapa's grandson? It's clearly mentioned, right? Second position is the secondly, this position with Rishyashringi leading way was compared to Indra leading Lord Vamandev to heaven after Indra had regained the kingdom from Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj se jita hai kaun? Vamandev. By the Trivikrama pose, by lifting his leg and in two leg and covering the whole world. So Rishyashringi was the grandson of Kashyapa. And his son was Vamandev. So जैसे इंद्र वामनदेव को लेके जा रहे थे, दशरथ महाराज was taking the grandson of Kashyapa or the other brother of what do you say, Vamandev along with him. So Kashyap family का ही व्यक्ति को लेके जा रहा था and वहां पे Since he has fought so many wars for the Devatas, he is also compared as good as Indra himself. Yes, we will finish this chapter today. Yeah.
Taking the sage into the inner chambers, King Dasharatha honored him according to the scriptures. King Dasharatha believed that his desires had been accomplished just by bringing Rishyashringi to his kingdom. When the large-eyed Shanta entered the inner chamber with her husband, all the ladies present there became happy because of their love for her. Shanta was honored by all of them, especially by King Dasharatha. Shanta lived there happily for some time with her husband Rishyashringi, priest of the sacrifice.
The priest sacrifice. So Shanta के आने से सब महल में थोड़ा चहल पहल हो गया. All the ladies were happy because घर की बहू बेटी आ गई है. She very nice, and now she has come married with her husband also. So they were very happy. And taking the sage to the inner chamber, King Dasharatha honored him according to the scriptures. इसके लिए honoring someone has to be as per the Shastra. It should not be whimsical. Shastra tells us किस व्यक्ति को कैसे honor करना चाहिए. ब्राह्मण को किस चीज से ऑनर करना चाहिए, क्षत्रिय को किस चीज से ऑनर करना चाहिए, वैश्य को किससे ऑनर करना चाहिए. Everything is mentioned. That is why repeatedly this word is coming according to the Shastra. Scripturally, Shastraha, it is said the word is so Sanskrit word is Shastraha, means as per Shastra, जो तरीका है उससे किया. And King Dasharatha believed that his desires has been accomplished just by bringing Rishyashringi to his kingdom. जैसे रोमपदा को जैसे ही राजा ऋषिशृंगा entered his kingdom, बारिश हो गया. He was also so confident that minute Rishyashringi has entered Ayodhya, his desire of having children has already been fulfilled. He was so confident and so happy. Okay, this I would like to close this session.